stop. The javelin. No, been for a quick stop.
That's good. Oh, that's good. Real good. Huh? Like that.
A red, white, and blue 1970 Javelin made its debut here at the 24 Hours of Daytona. The longest, toughest endurance motor race on this continent. It was here for a countdown. The most important racing journalists in the world had a lot to say about the new Javelins and the champions who are going to race them this season.
Hi, Pete Byro from Car and Driver here with Ed Ingalls from Auto Week, and we're having a little difficulty covering this event, and particularly this location, because of the number of people you can see around here. They're probably the most excited group of people and journalists here because of the fact that Penske and Mark Donohue have decided to run a Javelin this year in the Trans Am Series.
I am Jebby Kronbach, the editor and publisher of Sport Auto in Paris and Frankfurt. I'm here to cover the 24 Hours of Daytona.
I'm Chrissy Conamacki, editor and publisher of National Speed Sport News.
Just looking at this start, the standard of the preparation is absolutely fantastic.
Where Roger Penske goes, the crowds go, because he brings in winners. And it looks as though he perhaps has one here in this Javelin.
I think it's interesting, Ed, that American Motors picked Roger. He's a proven car preparation man. He's got proven drivers. And the approach American Motors has taken in that they surely want to win the series. They have allied themselves with the man who has won the series before, and it's going to give Roger an opportunity to work with new cars, new engineers, and new equipment.
Two-time winner of the Trans Am Series, Mark Donohue.
We're here to try to work out the durability program on this Javelin so that we'll know when we start the first Trans Am race how good each individual part is, what his life and expected maintenance schedule will be.
His crew call him captain. It's been said he runs his organization like a battleship. He's fast becoming one of the most important names in auto racing, Roger Penske.
Switching from Chevrolet to American Motors, of course, was a big decision to make at the end of last year. But looking over the American Motors Javelin in the past 2 years, both Mark and I felt that it had great potential. And also it was a great challenge to take a car that probably had not had its chance to do what its potential was in racing and take it to our shop and work on it using our engineering techniques, putting it with American Motors and the effort of the fellas back in Kenosha and in Detroit. We felt we could come up with a winner.
This is the first effort on our part with a Javelin. We're hoping that we'll be able to all the parts that we made for the car are new. We're new with the car itself, but we don't know what problems and other things will come up. We're trying to get experience. Experience is the only way you can be successful in racing, and we're getting experience of this car.
Going to Daytona is just part of a preparatory exercise in trying to come up with the best car for the first Trans Am race, which will be at Laguna Seca in approximately 2 months. We'll have run the total Trans Am distance by the time we finish Daytona and Sebring.
3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, the last day of January, and the start of the 24 Hours of Daytona. Ferrari, Porsche, Corvette, Camaro. But the strongest competition is the clock. For Mark Donohue, a calculated programming of the track. Each turn, each shift is part of a master plan.
If everything is going right, we should be turning 6,500 RPM in high gear. This will get up to roughly 6,800 or 6,900 by the time we hit the banking. The highest speed is achieved just coming off the banking, just before, down this little short chute, just before the start-finish line bend, which is a 15-degree banking. There, we're able to get almost 7,000, sometimes 7,100 at least at the moment in the car, which is about 162 or 3 miles an hour. Approaching the first turn, you're going kind of downhill coming off a banking, and it's important to get in deep because you're traveling at a high rate of speed, and usually we have yard markers there, and usually this type of car will get down below past the 200-yard marker before we have to put the brakes on. The short chute behind the pits is just long enough to get third gear, get into third gear for a minute or two, then I have to go right back to second to get around the 180-degree turn, which we call turn 2. Pit stops are a very important part of racing, whether it's Daytona or the Trans Am or wherever. Indianapolis is included. And this is really a tremendous time for us to practice our Trans Am fueling stops, tire changes, and so forth. And as we're going to be doing it for 24 hours, you've got to get better if you practice at it.
10 o'clock, and the racers pound on into the night. The Javelin averages 108 miles per hour over the 3.8-mile twisting, turning road course. Javelin trails the factory prototypes of Porsche and Ferrari, but is first in its class. Driver changes occur every 4 hours, with pit stops every 50 minutes for gas and tire checks. Nine hours of Daytona grind and the car is broken. Disappointment, but invaluable experience.
We ran 9 hours and feel that we learned quite a bit from running 9 hours there, even though the race was 24 hours. Our suspension, driveline components came out very well through the test, and we think that even though we had an engine problem, it's not something that can't be solved. We will attempt to solve it for the next go.
Of course, you're always disappointed when you can't finish a race. However, to finish a 24-hour race is quite difficult. We were quite happy at the end of 6.5 hours. We were running 11th overall. This was ahead of the Corvettes and the other Camaros. And basically, the only cars ahead of us were the 3 factory prototype Porsches and the prototype Ferraris. Basically, our testing proved that we have an engine that will run easily the maximum length of a Trans Am race, which is 2.5 hours, and our suspension, our brakes, and our axles and transmissions proved to come through without any failures at all.
We won the series last year and the year before, but that doesn't make it any easier for us to win it this year, because certainly it won't get us anywhere by going to the first race and throwing our press clippings out ahead of us to tell everybody what we're going to do. We have to produce with performance and with fast pit work and with reliable cars and with good engines. And we feel that we have the best in the business in those areas.
As a result of our Daytona test, we're even more confident that we'll have a winning combination starting at the first Trans Am in California. It takes the will, of course, of the crew and also real good equipment in order to have a strong and winning combination for the Trans Am Series. I'm sure our fellows are keyed up. They're happy with the car. I know both the drivers, Mark and Peter, did an excellent job, and we're happy with the performance that Revson gave us for the first time. And I think that the overall effort is going to be a winning one starting in April at Laguna Seca.
9 hours of Daytona, an exercise in preparation for a long, tough summer. A season that promises success with a winning combination of Penske Racing and American Motors. Javelin, out to make Trans Am headlines for you all summer long.